Hello Palians! Whether you are a new or old Palia player, I can guarantee there has been at least one time where your inventory or storage has been full, and it can be a little bit frustrating. So today I'm going to talk about everything storage and show you my storage hacks to help alleviate the problems you may be having if you are a hoarder like me. If you love Palia and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, but let's get to the good stuff. Obviously, the best way to solve a problem of an overflowing storage is firstly to get more of it. So what I'm going to do first of all is quickly run through all of the storage and inventory upgrades available in the game. If you want to skip this part, maybe you're a bit deeper into the game, then that's fine. I will add a timestamp for you for where the tips and tricks actually start. But here is everything as a new player you'll need to know about the upgrade system. Your player backpack is divided into two sections. If you go into your inventory, you will find your main player backpack and also a separate quest items backpack. This is identified by an exclamation mark icon, and this is where all of your quest items will sit if you haven't put them away in chests, or if you're out and about in the world and you pick them up, they will all be moved in here. As a beginner, you will start off with 2 lines of inventory, which are 8 slots, meaning you can carry 16 items. If you head to Zeki's shop in Kilima, to the left of his main counter is a special display which advertises the backpack upgrades. Each upgrade adds an additional 8 slots. The first upgrade is 500 gold, the second is 5,000, and the final is a whopping 50,000 gold. And this brings the max capacity you can hold in your backpack to 40 slots. So that's your backpack. Now let's talk about chest storage. Chests are a craftable item, and players can place a total of 8 normal storage chests and 3 lockbox chests on your plot. Your storage will apply to your housing plots as a whole, i.e. you cannot place 8 on multiple plots to expand your storage further. It will just count as you're moving throughout the different plots, like it will be a total score. Excluding lockboxes, the basic level is a wooden storage chest, and this has a capacity of 400 per chest, meaning if you placed all 8 you would have a total storage of 3,200 slots. You can upgrade your storage chest recipes from Tish's shop, and the next level is a copper storage chest which holds 825 items, meaning a total storage of 6,600, but the recipe will cost you 25,000 gold. The final upgrade available at present is the iron storage chest, and this will cost you 50,000, but it holds 1,250 items and a total capacity of 10,000. The recipe for the lockbox storage is also available from Tish's shop at the cash register, and this will cost you 1,000 gold. Each lockbox will give you an extra 100 capacity, and you can place 3 of them. So to conclude, if you upgrade all of your chests to the iron level and you place 3 lockboxes down, your current highest storage chest capacity you can have is 10,300, which doesn't sound like a lot, and you're right, it's not. So let's get into the tips to help you manage it. So the first thing is something that I kind of feel like everyone knows, but I just want to reiterate how important it is. And for me, this is probably one of the best things about the whole Palia storage system, and that is the fact that furniture does not count towards your limit. I use this so much to get around storage limits. Say I've been out on a big run for lots of wood and I can't fit any more in my storage, I know exactly where I'm heading towards, and that is my crafting table. I highly recommend that if you are reaching that limit, what you do is take some time and go and do some crafting, maybe stock up on some furniture items that you know you're going to want to decorate with in the future if you're getting full on those resources. One of my favorite things to craft is the bellflower planters. I have so many of them, but I know I probably will use them in the future. Okay, maybe I won't use 63, but I have them there should I need them. And log furniture, things like that, like basic furniture items that you may think, I don't need them now, but will I need them when I want to decorate my home? So I really do highly recommend this. Although furniture doesn't count towards your storage limit, some crafting machines do. So I would highly recommend only crafting the amount of machines you actually have the crafting licenses for, so you can place them down in the world. We all know those licenses are expensive, so don't go crafting them before you actually have the license itself. I have kind of changed up the way that I do my idle preserves and seed making and things in the time that I've played the game, so I do have some extras, but I still have licenses that I haven't yet unlocked. So at the moment, what I'm doing is putting any extra that I do have into my lock boxes so that I know where they are and they're easy to kind of see, and I don't go thinking, oh, I'm just going to go craft another preserve jar when I actually have one sat there. Whilst we're on the topic of crafting machines, do not forget that each of the crafting machines also have 3 slots for completed items, and you can actually move items in and out of these slots, so it is a great way to get a little bit of extra storage. However, just remember, when it comes to crafting at your work table will not pull items that you've got sat there in your crafting machines. So if you're thinking, oh hey, where have all my planks gone, they might well be sat in your machine and you will be unable to craft them, so you'll just have to take them into your inventory. This honestly is such a good way. I tend to kind of have my crafting machines going at all times when resources allow, obviously. So it is a good way to just leave them in there, forget about them, and then when I need them, I can go in and pull them out. Aside from using your crafting machines as storage itself, actually using the machine can also save you some space too, especially when it comes to your ores and other items you find from mining. Stone, brick and ceramic requires 2 of the raw resources, whereas bars require 5. So smelting down the raw resources can save you a lot of space. And also, even if you don't intend on keeping these in your storage, smelted bars also sell for more money, so it's better having them in bars than in their raw form. Unless you need a few for crafting other things, definitely keep a few on hand, like if you want certain furniture requires the raw pallium, so just keep a few on hand. But I tend to smelt everything just to get it out of my inventory and into the bar form. It is also worth taking note of what craftable items take multiple things to make in their recipe. For example, the smoke candle takes 3 things to make, and if you know you're potentially going to want to use a lot of those in the future, or maybe something like the honey lure will be one that definitely a lot of us will want to use for bug catching and getting all of those flowers, you are definitely better off stocking up by crafting those particular items than having the raw resources sat in your inventory and taking up even more space. One of the good ones is also the resource ore tracker. Before I started crafting loads of these, I had loads of silver just sat there and I was like, what am I actually going to do with these? And then I was like, nope, we need to make these, and I use them all the time now, so I don't have that silver just sat there going to waste in my storage. In fact, over time, I've learned that there are certain resources you do not need to store too many of, or in fact, store at all, because you most likely will never use them. Firstly, weeds. You will pick these up from farming and you may think, oh, I'll just put them in my storage. And I've done this so often and forgotten about them, and then before I know it, I have like 60 weeds sat in there. But there is nothing you can currently do with these, so save yourself the storage space and just sell them. Flint is another good example of this. From all that mining, at one point I had like 1,000 sat in my inventory and I had 0 need for all that. Now I try and stick around the 200 mark, and I know I will never fully run out because mining is one of my favorite activities and flint is super easy to come by, so it is one of the things that when I return to my plot I just tend to chuck it in the for sale bin and not worry about it. Speaking of mining, I tend to keep one of each non-star gem because they are good money. Even though you may need them for some quests, I do think that money takes priority at the moment, so I just save one for now. And another thing that I'm quite strict with is the drops from animals, such as antlers and chapper tails. These don't really have a crafting purpose, so again, I just tend to keep small amounts of these because an NPC might want them for a gift, so it's worthwhile keeping just a couple, maybe like 4 or 5, that's what I tend to do. Another thing that I do recommend keeping a couple of is 1 or 2 of each fish and insect. These are great for quest purposes, and I do try not to sell these, and some of them are also useful for cooking purposes. Obviously not the insect, the fish. However, starfish and bugs can be placed down in the world, so one quick way to ease up some of your storage space is to actually place them down, maybe on a dedicated plot. I've seen some super creative builds with them, so it's definitely worthwhile getting your thinking caps on and thinking about what you can do with them. Honestly, the tanks are just amazing. I'm personally working on a dedicated museum plot, so that will free up some of the space that I have that all of these bugs and fish are taking up. I've also set up a whole little section where I can put down my starred gems, just to show them off really. But that also will save me some space because there's 10 star gems or whatever there is. So that's again another little thing. Like, it's small, but all of these little small things do add up, trust me. Another thing that you can place down in the world and get out of your storage is obviously starred food. I'm terrible for this. I have so much starred food sat in my storage and I haven't yet decorated fully my kitchen, so I'm a little bit hesitant to do it yet. But when it's ready to go, I'm going to put all of the starred food everywhere. Not only does it make wonderful decor, but it can also help kind of spice up your builds a little bit. Just adding a little bit of food there, here and there will just look really nice. Even like a little seating spot, having a little bit of food on the table does make all the difference. I know you probably have a lot of purchased food from the Magi Market, or maybe stuff that you're just holding on to because it's starred and maybe you're thinking, oh, I'll use that in the future. You could even just put a table down somewhere and just put down a whole bunch of food, because that will definitely clear up a good amount of space. It is worthwhile doing. I 100% recommend it. Another thing that I haven't really mentioned is the fact that you should just sell stuff. If you're getting to that point where you think my storage is getting super full and your money balance is pretty low, just have a go through, check what you've got in there. At some points I have like 150 sweet leaf in there, and realistically I'm probably not going to use that. I don't tend to go to cake parties that much anymore. So what I will do is either put some in my fertilizer bin and then I will sell the produce from that, or just straight up sell them. It's definitely worthwhile just taking account, recapping what you've got, what you've not been using, because it could get you some extra money. Likewise, if it's something that is relatively not too expensive, why not do something nice for your community? It might be something that another fellow player wants to get their hold of, so why not give it to them by fulfilling their request? And I'm sure they will be very, very grateful for it. I love being on my plot and then getting like little messages saying, thank you so and so for gifting me that, I really appreciate it. It's just nice to see, and it's nice about being in a multiplayer game that we can help one another. It may be small, but it's just a nice little thought. Also, don't forget to make good use of your lockbox storage. I possibly don't do this as well as I could at the moment. At the moment, all I've got in there is kind of my starred gems, my pins from romancing, and also my crafting machines like I mentioned earlier. But you really just have to find out what works best for you. What do you want to keep separate? What do you want to keep out of the way? Maybe you want to put all your starred fish, starred bugs in there, because that's quite a lot. 300 starred fish and starred bugs, that would be pretty impressive. But either way, whatever works for you, maybe stuff that you like to take out when you go hunting or fishing, etc. Just so it's there, nice and easy to get your hands on it. So don't forget about that. And finally, as I said earlier at the beginning of the video, we now have the quest items section in our backpack. So if you're an older player, I would recommend going back through your storage and moving out all of your quest items and then putting them into your backpack so they're there should you need them for a quest. I will say that they don't actually count towards, or most of the quest items don't actually count towards your overall storage limit, but it just keeps it a bit cleaner, keeps it more organized, and if you have the max backpack upgrade, you have potentially 40 slots in there, so I think that's pretty good, pretty impressive. So just something to bear in mind. It's a kind of relatively new addition still, so still getting to grips with it, but I have definitely done this and it's made things a little bit cleaner. So there we have it. That's how I manage and kind of keep on top of the limited storage that we have. In the future, I would love to see more storage added to the game. Another upgrade option would be amazing. Do I think it's going to happen? Realistically, probably not. But at least we can kind of use these tips and tricks and try and keep on top of it. It is what it is. We've just got to make the best of it. So have a great rest of your day, guys. Don't forget to share in the comments how you manage your storage, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.